Hi, I'm Brady Riggs. This week we're going to go into detail about the difference between setup and impact in your hands. So let's take a look at setup really quick. When you take your setup position, we see two distinct angles in that left wrist in the setup with most setups. Number one, we see a little bit of a bend between the back of the left hand and the left wrist in the setup position. The second thing we see is a break between the top of the right thumb and the top of the right hand and the right forearm. We see those two angles. So there's a little bit of bend here, and we see the bend backwards in the left wrist from face on. So here's what happens. Somewhere in the swing, this magical thing goes on, and we see not only does the back of the left wrist get flat, but the top of the left wrist also gets flat. It loses its angle as well. So the left wrist changes its condition from bent here and a little bit cocked to a little bit uncocked and flat. So when does that happen? Well, we're back into options as far as when to get the left wrist lined up and when to get the left arm rotated. What we're hoping is that by the time you get into transition, you've got the left wrist in its flat condition already. We know that it's not uncocked yet, but the left wrist is now flat. As it comes down, the wrist stays flat, and approaching the ball, it stays flat, starts to rotate back towards the target, and we also see the left wrist become a little uncocked through impact. We don't want to see either the bend in left wrist at impact or still have the left wrist angled or hinged on the way through. Both of those would be incorrect. So as you're practicing, you can start out in your setup position and just push your hands into an impact position to get a feel for where those things are different. Hands middle at setup, left wrist flat, hands forward at impact. A little bit of hinge or cock in the left wrist at setup, at impact, a nice flat look to the left wrist. Those are the keys to the left wrist during the swing. Hopefully that will help you create some good solid impact alignments.